Despite having the last two African players of the year in the form of Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, and of course Nigeria reaching the final of the Men's Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire last year, Nigeria face a serious chance of not qualifying for the FIFA World Cup next summer. Now, Nigeria are a big powerhouse in African football with a big population. They made the AFCON final, top players across the board. But you've got to be honest, and I think even the most die-hard Nigerian football fans would be admitting this, they have been absolutely shambolic in this FIFA World Cup qualifying group. Now, when you look at it, when they were told, okay, you're going to have Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Benin, Rwanda and South Africa, you'd go, okay, South Africa's going to be a tough couple of games, but the rest, they should be blitzing through, so that when they come to face the South Africans, they've at least got a bit of breathing space. But that hasn't been the case. They've played 6 games. They've actually got more managers than wins in this group. They've won 1 game. They've got Eric Schell in charge, who managed Mali at the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, and he drew at home to Zimbabwe in his last World Cup qualifier. But despite only winning 1 out of 6, Nigeria find themselves just 1 point off the playoff spot and 6 points away from South Africa. Now, 6 points is a big gap because there's only 4 games left, there's only 12 points to play for, and you're assuming that the team in first, South Africa, are going to drop a lot of points as well. I think South Africa, and I think Nigeria may have been guilty of this too, South Africa are one of the most underrated sides, I think, in the world right now. It was not a fluke that they got the bronze medal at the AFCON, and the South Africans themselves have been saying for a while they are as good as they say. You see Sundowns making the African Champions League final and narrowly losing, and then they beat Morocco in the last AFCON in the last 16 comfortably, when many people expected Morocco to go on and win that AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire after the World Cup in Qatar that they had. So South Africa are a good team. So that's, I think, Nigeria have underestimated the competition here. And secondly, the teams Nigeria should be beaten, they've only won 1 out of 6. When you look at losing to Benin, drawing to teams like Lesotho and Zimbabwe, Rwanda as well, it's really not good enough. But it's a tight group. You've got South Africa on 13, Rwanda on 8, Benin on 8, Nigeria on 7. Still have a positive goal difference. Lesotho on 6 and Zimbabwe on 4 in last place. I mean, Zimbabwe are bottom, but again, they're only 4 points off a potential playoff spot. But match day 8 is going to be massive because South Africa are going to host Nigeria, and the South Africans put the nail in the proverbial coffin if South Africa defeat Nigeria in that game. And remember, they've already gone to Nigeria, South Africa, and got a draw there. They drew 1-0. Actually, Ledman's Varney scored, but ended up drawing the game. South Africa could seal the deal against Nigeria, and that would be a real 6-pointer. Now, before that, Nigeria host Rwanda, and South Africa go to Lesotho. South Africa should beat Lesotho, and Nigeria should beat Rwanda, which I think will keep it at a 6-point gap with 3 games to go. And then you have the South Africa-Nigeria game. If Nigeria go to Joburg or wherever, or Pretoria, and they win, it will be a 3-point gap. If South Africa beat Nigeria, it will be 9 points. It will be impossible for Nigeria to come top, and South Africa will seal their place at the World Cup in 2026. Remember, they blessed us with so much joy in 2010. We want to see that again after a 16-year absence since they hosted the tournament many years ago now. I remember that tournament with Shabalala and the goal like it was yesterday. So that's the story on the pitch. But off the pitch, this group is still providing some unanswered questions and drama because Teboho Mokoena, a fantastic midfielder, South Africa's number 4 from the Sundowns, he played a game against Lesotho, and this is what I don't get. South Africa would have beaten Lesotho without Mokoena. Why did they play him? They would have beaten Lesotho. With respect to Lesotho, South Africa would have beaten them without him. Now, he played Mokeona against Lesotho, and he got 2 yellow cards in prior qualifiers. That means he should have received a suspension. He shouldn't have played, but they played him. Now, after that game, whoever's involved, so Lesotho in this case, you've got to register the complaint within 24 hours of it happening, or FIFA or CAF or whatever, they can't do anything about it. And Lesotho didn't do it. They registered the complaint. It's been well documented now that I think Mokoena shouldn't have played, but they didn't register the complaint in 24 hours. But apparently is where it starts getting a bit grey lines. The Nigerians, who didn't play in the game, South Africa, Lesotho, I think it was 2-0. Nigeria didn't play the game, but they're the ones that flagged it as well. They lodged it as well. So we don't know what's going to happen. If it's found to be guilty, South Africa will lose 3 points and be given a 3-0 loss, bringing them down to 10 points and bringing Lesotho onto 9 points. It would put Lesotho second, a point off the South Africans, and they're going to host them in the next game. But it's the Nigerians, I think, that are going to be pushing for that, because with respect, Lesotho aren't going to the World Cup. Tell you that now, right? I will retire if Lesotho play at the World Cup. South Africa on the pitch have been fantastic, and even if they went and gave them a 3-0 loss against Lesotho, I'd still say they're favourites to come top, because I think they'll beat Nigeria at home. But I just think it would be so harsh. And I'm a stickler for the rules, but if Mokeona gets that suspension and it's given as a 3-0 loss, it would be so harsh, because it would give Nigeria a lifeline that they don't deserve. Nigeria haven't been good in this group. 2022 World Cup qualifiers, I'd say Nigeria were pretty much robbed. They drew to Ghana twice in the Jollof Rice Derby, 2 draws and didn't make it. Ghana drew twice and made it. Fine margins. This one, Nigeria have got no excuse, but a huge stroke of luck if it becomes a 3-point gap. Me personally, the way it's rumbled on, I'd give South Africa a big fine, a financial fine, but keep the result, because Lesotho weren't bothered and Nigeria are doing all they can. But I don't know, if it was your country, you'd want to do the same. You'd want any chance. But Nigeria, you've only got yourself to blame, because you've been poor, and if you can't beat Lesotho and you can't beat Rwanda and you can't beat Zimbabwe, there's only so many excuses and managers you can have when you've got to look at yourself and go, we've got Iwobi, we've got Osimhen, we've got Lookman, but we can't put these teams to bed. South Africa, they don't have the big star individual names like in Europe, but they play as a team. Ronwen Williams and a lot of the back four play in the same club. They've got good attackers going forward. Mokeona as well, same club. They've got a well-unit team, a well-knitted unit. So, we're going to look ahead now to Group C in matchday 7. Benin are going to play Zimbabwe. If Benin win, Benin will have an outside chance to the playoffs. Lesotho, South Africa should win. Nigeria, Rwanda, Nigeria should win. I mean, Benin might get 6 points. They've got 2 home games. It could be in 2 games in Cotonou. If they win at home to Zimbabwe and win at home to Lesotho, Benin are going to be getting in the mix as well. And this is a Benin, of course, that are going to the AFCON in Morocco later this year. But South Africa, Nigeria, I don't think it will just be South Africans and Nigerians watching. I'll be watching, and I'd be shocked if the whole continent wasn't watching South Africa, Nigeria in matchday 8. That is going to be the game of the World Cup qualifiers across the board. That's a game not to miss. That in itself is a 6-pointer playoff, I think. And Nigeria, even if they get second place, it might not be enough. They've got so few points. They've got 7 points from 6 games. And we look at their second place standings right now, I'll tell you right now, you need 12 points right now. You've got Cameroon, Senegal, Namibia and Comoros on 12, Gabon on 15. Nigeria have 7. So they're going to have to win every game, go to South Africa and get something, a draw at the very least, and hope for the best. But I don't think many people are realising the huge prospect of a World Cup where 9 and maybe 10 teams from Africa will go, and neither of them are going to be Nigeria. And that is a huge shock. Listen, Ghana may well have been missing the AFCON, and the Nigerians were looking at the Ghanaians and going, ha bloody ha, you're not going to AFCON. Ghana are going to be going to the World Cup, and Nigeria, once again, might miss out and have to watch their West African neighbours play in that competition. It's just such a shame, because there's so much quality there, and if Nigeria went to that tournament, they could give so many good teams a game. But right now, they can't give Lesotho and Rwanda a game. But there we are. So do you think South Africa are going to come out of this one? I hope matters off the pitch are fixed before we go into this. You let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, we're building up to the World Cup qualifiers here. We're back, and I'll see you next time.